I got legit no idea where my pen went. Anyway.
You have Tracer? Tracer went left.
Did we see the composition while I was out of it? Okay, so this is actually a pretty decent... It's, well, no, I was looking at it wrong. So you've got double flanker Junkrat, and then you've got the Orisa D.Va. So Orisa D.Va, check behind keyboard. No, it's not there. Oops, I pressed a button.
PS, guys.
Or did your Genji
Tracer,
swap or
can you
something like that?
switch? Junkie is really...
What comp did you end up running? You've still got the Tracer. Did your Genji swap? Oh, looks like your Genji went Ana, so you're running Mercy, Ana,
Yeah,
Tracer,
is good
Junkrat.
anti-Bastion.
Yeah, okay, so you swapped to that, the Genji out for an Ana. Pocket? No? I checked where I went to go get my water. It's like, it's gone. It's gone. My pen is gone. I don't know how I possibly lost that pen. But anyway. That threw me off so badly too. But anyway. So the Ana, like, you're having two primary healers, and the Ana is going to need some sort of protection, which is unfortunate in that you're running the Junkrat and the Tracer, neither of which are like the best at protecting an Ana. But
Three left, bottom.
Damage boosting the Junkrat off to the start, it looks like. Your Ana's right here too.
There's the left behind.
Yeah, this is one of the like the big problems with this location. It's nice that your Junkrat actually can cushion the Winston off, but that Winston had the right idea there, like jumping up in order to get massive cleave onto when you were all grouped up, gets that Winston just a ton of value. Now I do like how much you're actually blue beaming. You know, you're not
on the Winston.
Just like healing people who simply don't need it. That's unfortunate. Pretty ballsy res there, especially if you were gonna go for risky reses like that. It's not the worst idea ever. But if you are gonna go for risky reses like that, you always want to let your team know so that they can actually help you out. Like, let your Ana know, you know, let your D.Va know so that you can ask for defense matrix. But right now, so you are doing some calls here, like Tracer on me, Widow peek. That's so unfortunate. She's not peeking you. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Why Widow against?
So yeah, like the reses themselves are pretty risky, but you also want to be like, I do like how much you're actually damage boosting compared to actually just like blindly healing people, especially before the fight actually starts, and especially if you aren't falling behind on healing. Damage boosting is definitely going to be one of the things that you want to be doing primarily. Definitely don't want you to Valk here. It's good that you did.
One time. Whatever.
Diva, can you take a monkey? We need to...
Yeah, I can monkey,
Yeah, thank you.
So now that like one of the things you want to be doing on Mercy is keeping track of when you can actually use your ultimate here. So you don't want to be using it like right away here because you have two other ultimates that you can use. However, you know that both the McCree and the Soldier have already used their ultimates. So you yeah. So like, especially if the opponent is playing hit scan, in this case double hit scan, keeping track of their ultimates can allow you to know like how aggressively you can Valkyrie, as well as where you could position during the Valkyrie itself, and how safe you could be or how aggressive you can be. Because if somebody has like a hit scan ultimate up, you can't like run at people with your pistol out and whatnot. But let's talk about this Ana res. Is Winston a bad combo with usual main tanks like Orisa Ryan? Yes, absolutely. So let's see. Let's look at this Ana dead right here. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Is rezzing this Ana a good idea? Yes. No. What do you guys think? Should we go for the res here? Fuck no. So, ignoring the part where it's in a risky position, ignoring the part that it's in a risky position, think about it this way. Do we even need to res this Ana? how much is an Ana actually going to contribute to the fight? If we need more healing, you've got Valkyrie. So you can heal your Winston and your Orisa at the same time. What is the Ana actually going to do? Do you have a target? Like, is Nano Boost part of your win condition? If you do res her, is she going to escape? You've already got a kill on their monkey. It's 5-5 right now. Do you need to res them? So don't just think about whether or not you can, but whether or not you should. So especially against targets like, yes, the Ana is out of position, but a lot of Mercies, when they find a target like this where they're trying to think about, can I res, should I res, or anything like that, they just focus so hard on this res that they lose track of whether or not they have the advantage, whether or not they need to res, because one of the more dangerous things about actually resurrecting is not that it's actually going to put yourself in danger, but you can't heal during the resurrect. So your tanks are going to be falling farther behind in terms of like their health pools if they're actively taking damage during your resurrect. So no, I don't think you should res this Ana, mostly because she's not part of your win condition. The fight is currently 5-5. If you res her, you have the risk of dying yourself. Ana's probably going to be in a risky position if they push. Both of your tanks are damaged. So instead of resing the Ana, one of the things you could do is just have your team more or less go aggressive, potentially with Valkyrie. It's a 5-5 right now. So, yeah, especially with both of them having used their hit scan ultimates, you're pretty safe to Valk here. And you could push up. So, this is sort of the things, like with Mercy's Valkyrie, you can't like undo a lost fight. So if you're down 6-5 or 6-4, Valkyrie won't easily undo that. Like it may prevent you from going from 6-5 to 6-4, but that's just delaying the inevitable. As soon as the Valk ends, if you weren't able to get a kill during Valk, or they weren't able to like focus fire somebody down through your Valk, then they're just going to start gaining an advantage. Valkyrie is powerful when you have like an even fight, or you have a slight advantage and you can kind of push that advantage farther in your direction. Are you really able to think about so many factors in game? Yes, very much so.
Plat Mercy, you can res that.
And the way you manage being able to think about so many factors in game is by thinking about them ahead of time. So when the situations actually occur, you've already thought about if this, then that. And if you have these factors thought out, like there's never any downtime in Overwatch, right? There's never downtime. That's unfortunate the McCree's up there. But there's never downtime at all. You need to be spending the time where you're respawning, thinking about situations, tracking ultimates, all those different factors. Yeah, absolutely think about these factors while I'm playing.
Eres de Mercy.
Yeah, it ended up working out because you dodged the Shatter and then Valken. Like, yeah, their McCree flanked because he had to try and clutch, and he did manage to get the 2 kills onto the supports, but the advantage was just so heavy in your favor, it was pretty obvious. So here, you're not hitting tab enough because you don't know the status of your team's ultimates. Or if you did, I wasn't paying attention. But I don't think you're hitting tab enough to kind of keep track of ultimates, especially on a character who requires less mechanical skill. You want to be able to devote that brain power that you would have otherwise put onto aiming very purposefully into tracking ultimates and predicting opponents and all of this fun stuff. So you're tunnel visioned way too hard on healing and less about more of your role in the team, like keeping people alive, predicting. So there you've hit tab. Okay, so if you saw it, Ana has Nano Boost, Orisa has Supercharger, McCree has High Noon. So if you know if you know that these are your team's options, what would you be doing, right? So Nano Boost, not going to be a lot that you can do with it. You don't have a lot of Nano Boost targets. Nano Boost, I would expect, is primarily going to be used to keep a tank alive if they get focused. The Supercharger could be used to kind of kill one of their pushes. I don't really need to interact with Supercharger that much. But McCree's High Noon, he becomes vulnerable during his High Noon. So knowing that McCree has a High Noon, I'm going to want to be positioning myself a lot closer to McCree. So when he does it, I'm right there to pocket him. So these sort of things that you need to kind of plan. If we ever, for some reason, have some sort of horrid double main tank, should I switch off main tank onto a hog or keep playing a main tank that I'm far more confident on? In ranked, I would definitely just stay with the hero you're more confident on.
Reaper ultas.
The positioning isn't that bad, honestly. On the
Reaper top
high ground,
right,
you've got
window.
this little tiny wall that you can use.
Right
I don't
up,
have
Mercy's
that
one.
much wrong with this positioning at this moment.
I'm on
It has
Mercy.
been questionable at other times, but
Nice. Fuck, I failed it.
bit risky there not to stay behind the Ursa shield and kind of like instead going to
We
the
lost
open.
Anna.
Again, really tunnel visioning on these
Fuck.
reses. Like, resing a tank, really high value. Resing Ana, less value, especially when she's in a position that she can't really escape. Like, how much value is that Ana actually putting out? Think about it. Like, you are the one who's primarily keeping the tanks alive. It is not so much damage that you need Ana and your healing to keep tanks alive, right? So Ana's not doing much. If you have people on your team basically not contributing, don't waste a res on them, straight up.
We lost Mercy, I'm gonna pick her.
Pop quiz, you just saw it. Who had ults? Did you guys see it? Who had ult other than Valkyrie? Is nano in a tank that's in front of you inside of a grav to tank damage ever a bad idea? Well, there's a lot of things that have cleave damage, so yeah, it's probably not going to be that helpful. I messaged you on YouTube about me being a Masters Flex player. So far, it's working well. Nice.
Okay, he's dead.
Don't kill me. Oh shit.
There you go. If you said Orisa and Bongo, you got it correct.
Fuck.
Dead.
Nice skills bomb.
We lost Mercy, I'm gonna pick her.
Can't stick around for long. Take my bits
Come on,
instead.
Mercy.
Thanks, Harka. I appreciate it.
With Valkyrie for the next fight.
Come on, Mercy.
Oh wow.
Oh, failed. Okay. Right here. Watch out, Reaper will ult soon.
Yeah, it's not like the Ana is getting no value, but in terms of like who on your
Reaper
team
ulting,
is
I think.
actually contributing
Okay,
the
no.
most,
We escape.
duplicating your
Whoa.
own role is not really something that you should care that
Is
much
that
about to
nice?
start with. Like,
The Mercy.
if you, the primary healer, are alive, you want to make sure that your DPS
Dead.
and your tanks are alive and in the fight. And resing a tank, just on paper, is way more value. Think of res not as like
Dead.
the
Getting
ability to, you know, resurrect people, but if you're thinking about it in terms of value gained or work that has to be undone
dead?
from the side of the opponent, then what you can consider it as is like a burst heal. So if you res a Roadhog, for example, you can think that your E healed
Reaper
a
right,
tank
he's
for
trying to ult.
600 health,
Read bottom, left, bottom right.
right? So if you res an Ana in the middle of a team fight or whatnot, yeah, like maybe a DPS if you're missing them, or a tank
Main.
just to have more sustain and put way more work focused on the opponent to actually work out.
On Mercy.
Why do you constantly switch your pistol every time you're Valkyrie? That's really weird.
Guys,
think the
there's
third
two
time
people
you've
on
done
our
that?
Ursa.
No, okay,
Yeah.
top, okay, top.
Oh shit.
So when we're thinking about that, think about like where your positioning was, right? So let's actually go into a custom game and talk about this. Scroll wheel ultimate? What? Why? Good lord, no. Oh man, that's funny.
Welcome.
Who has
to
ult is also
Jungle.
important on who to res. Resing Zen with trance to win a fight is more impactful than a tank. You're correct. Absolutely. Yeah, ults will definitely contribute as well, especially if they're support
I'll be
ultimates.
watching over you.
I use mouse 5. But yeah, so the way you had it, you always got to be thinking about your positioning during Valkyrie. And a lot of Mercy is just kind of like autopilot and forget that positioning matters when you're in the sky. Like the opponent's running double hit scan here. So instead of doing this and just kind of like
Never die.
being like, wee, I'm being worthless. Okay, so instead of like positioning here where the opponent can kill you, your beam is horrendously long. So you can be like in this location, being safe, and you can like res people and you can peek cover, right? So your Valkyrie itself has line of sight breaking just like your normal beam. So how normally, like, you were sitting here, and then to heal people on the low ground, you were like healing, peeking, healing, peeking, healing, peeking, which is good because you only need the beam to connect because it can stay unbroken for like, what is it, 2 seconds, 3 seconds? I don't remember the exact time that beam stays unbroken, but you can like just grab line of sight, behind cover, line of sight, behind cover, some of the things. The same sort of thing happens with the Valkyrie. Is that don't just like float in the open. Like hang around these areas, like vertical cover, right? Kind of like this, vertical. I'm using the spectator camera controls. I'm trying to climb and descend using Q and E because I've been doing so much spectating recently. But that's not how it works on Mercy. It's space, and so this is also something that a surprising number of Mercy players don't actually know. But so to climb, you of course hit space. But a lot of people, when they try and descend, look at the ground and press W. Okay, so I don't know why. Like, yes, W and S works when you're working vertical, but your crouch button is your descent button in Valkyrie, and I don't know how many Mercies don't know that. Anytime I see a Mercy looking directly up or directly down to kind of move around in Valkyrie, I kind of get a little bit tilted. Your crouch button causes you to descend in Valkyrie. Space to go up. Control to descend. Okay, does it actually go faster? 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. I want to see if it's actually... I actually don't know if it's faster to press like W and space or just W. Are you telling me that's not common knowledge? Yes, that is not common knowledge. Like, look at chat. There's a lot of people who did not know this. No. The amount of... I thought it was common knowledge too. After reviewing like more than half of Mercy players probably that I have reviewed did not know this. Probably more than half. So 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Well, it does seem to go actually slightly faster holding W and space. Slightly. Interesting. Maybe it was just me counting wrong, but it did seem to be very slightly faster holding W and space. What about control? Yeah, I don't know if it goes faster if you're just... Okay, so... 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. I do think it's actually slightly faster to press, like, to look at the ground in control, or look at the ground in, or look at the sky in space. I actually think it's slightly faster to do both look and control or space. Interesting. I actually never tested that before. Anyway, enough Mercy. I'm a Mercy main trying to climb, and this is helping me a lot. Your streams are very educational, and you help people like me a lot. Thank you. Hey, I'm glad it helps. You know, people find Mercy VODs boring, but it's because they don't really realize how much there is to actually do on Mercy. It's not mechanically intensive, but there's a lot more than you can do, and, you know, a lot more decision-making that impacts the game rather than what you are doing. Like, you know, there's no finesse to how you left-click on somebody. It's who you left-click, where you left-click on them, when you press Q, if you res, who you res. It's these decisions that really make the difference between like a GM Mercy and a not GM Mercy. How do I upload my VODs? YouTube, Twitch, Plays. Pick your poison.
Soldier 1. Fuck, I'm dead.
As you dead, you stay behind their Winston shit.
Oh, snap, crackle,
We don't
pop.
have ulti, so don't focus him.
Oh, thank you. There's always once. It's always once per
We don't
VOD.
have ulti.
Once per stream, right? I got a T2ers every time. Every time.
That Reaper did it.
Sorry,
Or he did.
Oh, my phone's going crazy there.
Reaper behind us, I think, on top.
Yeah, so like look at your positioning here. This is kind of like the your positioning goes from like mediocre to just complete ass. And this is going to be one of the times where your positioning is complete ass. And until you play at higher elos where you're playing against hit scans who are going to punish you for like peaking at even the remotest period of time, one of the best ways to consider yourself, are you in a good position, is just think in your head, if the opponent had a Widowmaker, would I still be alive right now? And you're just standing in the fucking open. So you have like this position down here. You could be around this wall and using that to peek the cart. You definitely don't want to be on the left side, because then if your team is forced back or you're, you know, respawning or whatnot, you want to be on the right side so that if your team is regrouping, you don't have to cross open territory to get back with your team. So yeah, like think constantly about retreats. Think constantly about like health packs where you are, around covers, around corners, things like this. Like abuse the fact that Mercy's beam can connect. Let's actually go back into the training range, because there's a few other things that I wanted to talk about.
Get out there.
What's the software you're drawing on the video with? It's called Epic Pen. Okay, so let's get out of here and go to the training range. Okay, so let's go to Mercy, and let's take a look at my Mercy settings.
I'll be watching
Control, Mercy. Okay, so I use toggle Guardian Angel off, which is pretty important, but I use Guardian Angel prefers beam target on. Now, there's a very specific reason for this. Where are you, Mr. Bot? Hello, Mr. Bot. So this is the bot that I like to demonstrate this one on. How you doing, Mr. Bot? So let's turn Mercy's Guardian Angel prefers beam target off. So what we can do is we can heal this bot, and then if we fall like here, I can't Guardian Angel back to him. So if you go out of LOS, even if the beam is connected, you can't fly back to the bot. But, hello bot. Where are you, Mr. Bot? Mr. Bot, come back here. Alright, so if I go out of LOS, I can't, even though I'm tapping shift, I can't get back to him. But if you do have this setting off, you can Guardian Angel to people behind cover, which is why this is super useful. So if I drop out of LOS, boop, right back up. Boop, right back up. Boop, right back up. Guardian Angel around corners. Boop, right back up. Boop. So this is one of the settings. This is one of the tactics that you really want to be abusing. And this is sort of like a continuous momentum, right? So it can actually pull you around corners. So if you kind of like hide from somebody and then you need to escape, that Guardian Angel will actually pull you around corners, and you can escape people who are attacking you using this method. So yeah, it's defaults to this, but a lot of people for some reason turn it off. So keep it on so you can just Guardian Angel around corners. And then the other reason that you want to be doing with Mercy is the toggle Guardian Angel off, so that you can kind of stop it whenever you want. It's just a lot more accurate. So you've still got the... let's see if I can do this right. I haven't played Mercy in a while. Yes, okay. So in the same way that your like Doomfist punch can be extended, is that you can actually kind of like go past targets if you release. And then you can get a little bit of, I'm not very good at the Guardian Angel text, but there's actually quite a few of them. And there's a, what's the other one? But, no. There's like a bunny hop tech. I haven't played Mercy in so long, where you can just stop your Guardian Angel a lot shorter. Because if you have it on toggle, like the, normally, unless you specifically cancel it, you're going to arrive right at your target. But if you're wanting to heal your target, you basically don't want to be here. Because if this person is being shot at and you arrive, then suddenly you're going to be the one who's shot at. So your beam distance is 15 meters. So your beam distance is 15 meters, right? So if you are going to be kind of trying to heal somebody, you want to go... That's an enemy bot. Yeah, we'll use friendly bot, I guess. So 15, 5, 10, 15 meters is here. So you don't, whenever you're playing Mercy, you don't want to Guardian Angel to the target, because then Mr. Bad Guy is going to shoot you. What you want to be doing is Guardian Angel to the 15 meter mark. So you can see how I still have Guardian Angel from here. I can't activate my beam, but I have Guardian Angel. I just want to go just barely into range to heal that bot. And then, you know, if that guy is the guy who's shooting the friendly bot, I want to be healing, but I also want to be kind of like keeping myself out of range. So I can be like heal, 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 heal. Just kind of be dodge. Is it 1 second now? 1,000. Yeah, so just kind of, you can see how the beam isn't unbroken by immediately taking cover. So you never want to be healing in the open, kind of be doing this. Healing, peeking, making sure that you're kind of zoned away. And then if you need to and you're attacked, you know, if you're attacked and you're behind cover, whoop, you're out from behind cover and it'll drag you around walls so you can get like that instant acceleration to escape things. Anyway, just some Mercy tech.
The battle continues. Where was I? Where was this bright?
To do bunny hop, hold down shift, press space, and keep holding shift all the time. Is that it now?
I'm taking
Yeah, I seriously haven't played Mercy in like forever. It's no, that doesn't seem to be it. I know there's a Guardian Angel tech, but I honestly forget how to do it. Yeah, I'm sure like one of the, like Aspen and Eevee are both good Mercy streamers. You'd probably want to ask them to show Guardian Angel techs, but I haven't practiced Mercy in like 3 seasons or something like that. Press space earlier?
Your support has arrived.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't do it. I'd have to actually practice it. I completely forget what the Mercy Guardian Angel techs are. Ba-ba-ba. But yeah, if you are a Mercy main, you definitely want to be looking up the Guardian Angel techs and how you can actually like conserve momentum after Guardian Angel. And I think somebody told me that like the altitude gaining bunny hop tech is still in, but I'm not sure. So again, I got so kind of fed up with playing Mercy. I don't think I've played Mercy since the nerfs because I fucking had to play Mercy on a team and that was so tilting. Yeah, I'm sure if you actually care about learning that tech, you can go play around in the practice range. Know it exists and just try and either like look up people who actually know how to do it in the current version of Mercy. But yeah, I have no interest in relearning the Mercy Guardian Angel techs, honestly. Okay. And that's kind of like a rant for a different time. But basically, just the TLDR of the rant is that I joined a team as a Lucio player, and then the Mercy buffs came in, the one where you got like 2 reses instantly refreshed during Valkyrie, like during the height of the broken Mercy meta, and the team assigned me to play Mercy instead of Lucio. So since it was a competitive team, like we placed like 3rd, 4th in the open division or something, I had to learn like all of the techs for Mercy, all of the cancels, all of the weird bugs with the res and whatnot. And in that like month and a half period, Mercy got changed like 7 times. So I had to relearn all of her cancels and all of the like different ways to use her res and abuse her, basically her kit so many different times that like I have so many different outdated Mercy techs in my head. I don't remember which one is current on the live patch. It completely burnt me out caring about Mercy.
Go back.
Go and ult.
Oh my god, in time.
I'm dead. Regroup. Go back.
So in this kind of time, this is actually a point in time which is a really neat example, but where healing is actually a worse thing. This diva already uses her boosters and is not going to escape. So you actually healing this diva is preventing your team from regrouping faster and feeding more ult charge to the opponent. So this is actually a point in time where you not having healed and just letting the diva die would have been more valuable. So another real key thing for Mercy players to understand is when healing teammates is actually hurting you in terms of like the actual objective itself. That diva was dead regardless. She had used her boosters, she was pursued, she was in a bad place, she was getting killed, and you healing her took it longer for her to die, which is going to delay the regroup, and you fed more ult charge. So recognize when a fight is lost, recognize when you need to basically reset as soon as possible, and if you can't escape, die, and die without healing, or at the very least damage boost somebody, or pistol. Pistol's probably your best bet, just to get Valkyrie as fast as possible. But yeah, don't heal. Aspen is really good, yeah. And now, are you going to get staggered? Yes, and you got staggered too, so that was actually atrocious. Oh, your diva actually decided to get back into mech. Oh no, this is a disaster.
I gotta get him.
disastrous, actually.
Let him fucking sleep.
So yeah, this whole situation is your fault right here. I don't mean to be an asshole, but very much your fault based off of like trying to keep that diva alive, not resetting yourself, getting staggered, and then yeah. So this all started because you didn't reset or let the diva die. I made a 10-second clip to show bunny hop for me. Nice, I appreciate that. Let me just pull it up. Okay, you're gonna lose this. Boring. Let's swatch over here. Swatch. I said swatch. This is why I love having chat. If I can't do something, chat will be able to do it for me. Is it not playing? What the hell? Okay, never mind. Guess the clip doesn't want to play. That's weird. Anyway, he posted it in chat if you do want to learn the, yeah, if you do want to learn the bunny hop tutorial, I assume that clip is good. Anyway.
Yeah, that's true. You can do it.
We can do better. Yeah, we can do better.
I don't know how you guys can like players my healer. It's so boring. I don't know, again, with the English, but I don't know. Healer's fun if you enjoy the more strategic side of things, and it's like it can be really annoying if you are playing solo queue, but playing healer on a team where you can trust your tanks and DPS, that's a really good feeling because you feel like the glue that's holding everything together, or kind of like you know, it's kind of like the ability to like wax a car. It's like the car itself is pretty, but it doesn't really shine without like a good cleaning and a good waxing. And it's just really being able to take something good and make it great is an awesome feeling on healer. So I definitely like healer's not. It's not fun in interactive in the same ways, but it's a different kind of person who likes healers.
Maybe Zen and
exclamation mark coach me
Ryan.
if you want to submit a VOD.
You can do Mercy or Zen, or even Anna. Depends on the second healer.
No, we have 2 DPS. Tracer, can you switch this time? Come on, Tracer.
Come on,
I believe in
Tracer.
you. Genji was switching last time, so it's 9.
Okay, healers require mechanics, yes. Yeah, I'll agree with you. And if you are the kind of person who is playing healer because you have shit mechanics, you're playing healer for the wrong reasons. Okay. Please, it's one of my favorite sayings around here, but 99% of healers give the rest a bad name. And if you play healer because you feel like you have shit mechanics, you're playing healer for the wrong reason. However, that being said, DPS do require way more mechanics, unless you're like Zenyatta, than supports. So, yes, healers have mechanical components to them, but those mechanical components are way lower than the demands of most of the DPS roster.
Now it's your time to switch.
Wow.
I play healer because I hate my life.
Oh, come on.
I feel you,
We
brother.
can do this.
No English, sorry.
Now, even Anna requires,
Tracer,
like,
can you
compared
tank
to
or
the other,
support?
like, a Genji or whatnot. Yeah, Genji's mechanical. Like, Anna is definitely the highest mechanical skill hero in the healer category, but is still
I can do
outclassed
both,
by
I
quite
don't
a few
care, but
DPS heroes.
You need at least.
Okay, I think you're not gonna switch.
I don't know. Anna doesn't have to headshot. I think that alone
Genji, can you
kind of
switch
negates
to
her
tank or support?
the
did good as
possibility
Anna,
of her having like
to
a
be honest.
really high mechanical skill ceiling. So yeah, I don't think Anna.
Or we ditch the Bastion
No,
strats?
I still think like McCree is, you know, first of all, like let's kind of demo this actually. Kind of demo how easy it is to actually hit shit on Anna. Yeah, so.
Heroes never die.
Never stop fighting for what you believe in.
Right? You don't really need to be that accurate. So, no headshots. Pretty decent size to the actual bullet itself. You don't need to be that accurate on Ana.
Justice ain't gonna dispense itself.
You just don't. Zen is also easier than McCreek, right? Because his projectile has a size to it. Yeah, there is an even bigger grace period for heals. You're correct. The hitbox for heals is even larger.
And go for this. Okay, let's ditch the Bastion. It's not gonna work. Bastion, you can go heal. Maybe Zen. Bastion, can you Zen?
Did you get a host, or do you just have a casual 800 viewers now?
Just
No, just casual 800 viewers now.
Bastion, we don't have a shield. We pick a hero.
Yeah, we don't have shield for Bastion.
What the fuck is doing?
I love EU comms. They make me laugh every time. I don't think EU comms are as bad as everybody makes them out to be. Also, what the hell happened to your Winston? That was funny. How? Did a somersault. That's awesome.
Bastion, stay on card.
This is like classic solo Q Mercy, where you're just like, everybody's a little bit split, so you're just like constantly guarding and ageling all over the place to kind of like just prevent imminent death. And
I have no idea how, but it's
like,
working.
you're doing a pretty good job of triaging people. You know, you've got a decent awareness of who needs heals, and you've saved numerous people at really low health. So honestly, not the worst job ever. You are
Bastion's
leaving the
great.
Bastion pretty low.
You know how to make? Don't kill Baby Diva.
There's not a lot to comment on here. It was pretty hectic with you having to just like run around and heal everyone all over the place, but not a lot of tactics here right now. Not a lot of strategy other than just left click on things and hope they die, or hope the thing they're shooting at dies.
You look Genji.
And here, like again with the sort of like
Yes,
tunnel
Mercy.
vision, you keep seeing reses,
Back.
and you're thinking about whether you can and not whether or not you should. So especially with you kind of having the spawn advantage there,
You want to smack?
was it really a
So
big,
it's the guy-
was there any reason that you really needed to res there? Absolutely wasn't, right? You had spawn advantage. There was still going to be a time before the doors
Nice.
closed, and
Winston
even
focus on
you
the Genji,
dying
please.
didn't really make a difference, so it wouldn't have mattered if he had died in res. So unless it was like really perfectly safe and he had just gotten clipped by some random right click or headshot, I wouldn't have gone for the res
I'm
there.
gonna eat the balls.
There's just no real
Go to left
point.
side.
And like you didn't go for the res,
Nice.
so you still have your cooldown. But like going for reses that are low impact is going to prevent you from getting high impact reses. This is a wasted Valkyrie, right? If you look at the kill feed, you were already up 2 before you pressed Q.
Two behind.
So absolutely worthless Valkyrie here. Did not need it. That's a high impact res. Really, like Bastion is a threat that needs to be dealt with by more than one person. You know, has a decent health pool on him. I think that was a great res target. I like this positioning, kind of using the high ground as well as the covers, where you could kind of... I don't like that you're standing still here. You should never be standing still, because you never know who's looking at you. That Winston's AFK.
It's also easy.
Yeah, never be standing still, ever. You just never know. You never know. A Genji could just, like, put 3 shurikens into your head from downtown. A Tracer could one-clip without you hearing her. A Widow could have a strange angle. And, like, something like that. Never be standing still.
Diva once.
That was a weird Guardian Angel.
What?
That was pretty risky.
Nice.
This is another nice res.
Zen dead.
Really high impact, getting that tank, getting him back up. It wasn't like super critical, but it's nice. It's nice that your Winston can still apply that forward pressure.
Put the F. Spawn counting. Bastion.
Nice. Now that you've done this, you want to put 3 on. I like that you return to the payload. You should be asking for a 3rd on the payload. Your Bastion is...
Can you rest this Bastion? I can protect you.
Oh man, you got no one on the cart now.
Come on, rest it, rest it.
That's too bad. You guys got cocky. You
Nice,
could
the
have won
card,
this.
it's standing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going for it.
No, I wouldn't have. I don't usually give in to the demands of DPS players like this. The payload management right here is
We lost
shit. So
Mercy.
like, just because they're playing DPS doesn't mean that they have the right answers or know what they're doing, right? This is good, but they've popped visor.
Yeah, you just saved my ass, man.
Oh, the visor died.
Grind
Okay.
that.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna bump on card.
basically, don't trust your DPS just because they're playing DPS.
Good enough.
You know, just because they ask something, don't be afraid to tell the person no.
But the
Yeah.
Bastion was OP. Epic Bastion.
Toxic healers, best healers, right? Flame your DPS for being dumb,
That's way better.
and tell them why what they're doing is a mistake, and do what you need to do to actually win the game. 'Cause we were verging really close on like throwing the game territory there.
Oh.
Really close to throwing the game there. So, yeah, just assume like there's no reason you should have spawn camped, or after your Bastion used his ult, you all should have regrouped to the payload, put 3 on, pushed for distance. You know, maybe your tanks could guard with like space near the spawn doors, but that was really poor payload management. You could have won that way faster. Okay, that was 1 round of attack and 1 round of defense. Let's swap to the next Mercy VOD just to